Here's a question from Paul. He says, is it possible to copy a section from the timeline and paste it into another project? It sure is, and we have made videos on this in the past, but let's make another one just for Paul. Okay, so there's actually 3 ways that you can carry information over from one project to another. The first way really isn't from the timeline, but it's simply to take a video that you have on the in the media panel and drag it into the global media. Once doing that, you have this one. Again, when we use number 80 here in this case, you click on global media and you see that it's here. This means that anytime you open up another project, then it will be available to that project. And once you're done using it in a new project, go ahead and right click on it and then delete it. Okay, the question was, we wanted to take something from the timeline and bring it over. Now, let me just put a title down so that we have this here. And let's just bring it down over to this clip right here. So just so that we have 2 things. Number 2, or the second way to bring something from a project into a new project, is to make a compound clip. So if we take these 2, and it could be, let's take these 3 or anything on the timeline, and we right click and we create a compound clip, and we should give it a name of some sort, give it a reasonable name, and then say, okay, in this case it doesn't really matter, but you get this green section here. These are the 3 clips that have been put together into one clip. And just to demonstrate, we now have it over. We have this drop-down list here, the main timeline, which is what we're looking at. Or if we just wanted to look at the individual, here are the 3 clips that we have. Okay, I'm going to click on this little house, bring us back to the main timeline, and now we can see we have that here. If we want to use this compound clip for another project, you have to right-click on it, and then you have to choose Save as a Compound Custom Clip. That's going to put it right up in this bucket right here. And so we'll just do a right-click and Save as Custom. So now our compound clip is here. And any new project we do, just like the global media, this will load up here. So you can start a new project, and then you can go to that project and you can find it. And here we took a combination of things. All right, again, once you're done using it in the new project, go ahead and delete it. You probably don't need it at all. Now, the third way will take the entire timeline. That is, it will take everything that's on the timeline. And it, just like the compound clip, it can be multiple tracks. In fact, you don't even have to make multiple tracks. So let's just detach this again. And we go in here to detach compound clip. And we're going to detach the whole range. Now we have all of our stuff again. If you had a project that was complete and you only wanted to use a section of it over and over again, for example, you want it used as an intro or an outro in your videos, what you can do is, and this one is number 3, you can, and I'm going to get rid of these first 2 clips here. This one's rather small, and we're going to just delete them. For step number 3, only the things that you want to import into another project using this method can be on the timeline. Nothing else can be on the timeline. And what that is if you had a current project, you could erase everything else around that clip or that section and just leave it as is. Then you can click on templates and you can click on mine and you can go to custom and then you can say save as custom. And now you have your little clip there, and again you could right click on it and you could give it a new name so that you remember what that is. And now every time that you open up a new project, that will become available. You can see I have my intros and outros here, and I have a custom 3-phone split screen that I gave as a demonstration to somebody that can now be brought into a new project. And for example, if I wanted to use my intro, I could just right click and I say add to the beginning. Now it will become a part of the project, and it's placed right at the beginning. Let me go back to templates, and let's say, for example, that I wanted to use this at the end of my project. I could just click that way, and now I have a very complex compound clip. This happens to have a lot of stuff in it, so let me detach it from the compound clip, full range, and here I have all of my stuff, which actually includes more compound clips inside other compound clips, and we could detach them also. Okay, full range. And you can see I have brought in quite a number of things from one project to another. Now, in this last method of making a custom template, it's not necessary to have compound clips. It can be just the way you set it up. And as we can see, these in fact are also compound clips. And I can detach all of that. I don't think it's necessary to show all of these detachments, but we can now see that we have quite a few. I don't know if this is a, nope, that's not a compound clip. Okay, so here I have, if only this was on the timeline and this is what I wanted to use, then I could save it as a custom clip. So this is way you can use it. Now, there is a fourth way, and that is the least preferable way, because, and I say least preferable because it could degrade whatever it is that you're using. But let's say you have a full project like this, and let's just detach this one also, just so that it looks okay. So here we have a full project, and we want to use just a portion of it. So the last way is to export that clip. And for example, you could, and here you use the I and O keys on the keyboard. Let's move to right here. We'll do Shift Home. And let's say we only want to export this section right here. We press the I key on the keyboard, and you can see we now have these dotted lines. That's the I key. And then we hit Shift End, and then we hit the O key on the keyboard. We have now selected a specific range, and in this case, what we would do is we would use just the standard export method, and we would say select clip. Okay, now we would be creating a video of just this section right here. And let's just put it right there, and let's run a quick export. Okay, and just to show that we did indeed export it, we can go over here in our output, and here is our particular video clip that we could now, and let's just close this out and bring this up. We could now then, let's import it. Let's go to our media, and I could just do import here, But I wanted to show you this. Let's just drag this in here and copy it in. So now this is the select clip that we had just made with those two items. Let's get rid of that. And let's just drag this down to our timeline. Now we want to get rid of this in out. So just click the X right here. So now we're back to normal. And let's go to shift, just press end. That moves us right to the end of the project. These are shortcut keys, by the way. And then we can just click the little plus sign. And now we've added our section in here, the duplicate of that. So let's just recap. There are 4 ways. The first one didn't really count. But the first way is to take a video clip that we have up here and stick it into global media. And that is the first way. The second way was to create a compound clip. Such as this, create compound clip, and this is number 2, and then right click on compound clip, and we can save it as a custom clip, and that put it into this editing presets, compound clip, and there is our clip. It will be available for any new project. So that was way number 2. Way number 3 was to create a custom template and put it right up here, and it would become available in every new one. And the method there was to make sure that you only had what you wanted included in the template on the timeline. Otherwise, everything else that's on the timeline will also be included. So one would actually then just go ahead and delete everything before and after it. And I should demonstrate that. Let's take this, detach this here. Okay, so we have a short range in here, and we want to use only this section of the video clip. We don't want to make a compound clip, but we do want to make a custom template. So we could do Shift Home. That brings us right to the beginning of it. And there's a feature here in the cursor. It doesn't have to be just the cursor. So if we click on this here, we can now change this, select everything forward, which is just pressing the A key. That's a shortcut key. And we go like that. And then we press delete. And then we go to the end. Let's go right here, Shift End. That's a shortcut key for that. Now we're at the end of the clip that we want to use. And then we click on here again, and we select everything backwards. And we're right here, and now we see we selected everything, and we can just hit the delete key. We now have just the section that we want, and we can now go ahead and create our save as a custom template. And as we showed you before, we can rename it, not all that important. And then when we're done and we want our cursor to be normal again, we go right up here and we just do the select. So that's a quick way to do that. And by the way, if you do something and you want to bring it back, go ahead and use the Control Z key. And there we have everything back to normal as it was before. And if we continue, those compound clips would then also be done. So Control Z will let you back up quite a ways. And there we have it. In rush, I forgot to demonstrate or recap number 4, which was simply to select a portion of the video or on the timeline, and then export that as a standalone clip. So I'm just going to add that right under here.